Good afternoon, Easton. I'm Carrie Rapolo, and this is the Shoveltown Scoop. Today is Friday, March 4th, 2016, and I am joined today by Easton resident Valerie Frank. Welcome.
Thank you.
She's going to be recapping last night's school committee meeting for us in just a few minutes. But before we get to that, the Board of Health met on February 22nd and held a public hearing on proposed regulations restricting the sale of tobacco products. They heard from numerous members of the community in support of raising the age to 21. Here's Dr. Lesser Hartman discussing his findings and opinion on the matter.
Got the IOM report that shows why 18, if you've looked at this before or not, why 21 is key, and that if you go to 21, it's fourfold greater in reducing use of tobacco products than going to 19 as well. And as you know, you can't rent a car till you're 25, you can't be an FBI agent till you're 23, and you can't supposedly buy alcohol till you're 21. And let's also remember, the reason this is going to 21 is not necessarily the 18-year-old who's in college, it's for the 15 to 17-year-olds that these are specifically marketed to. These are not cessation devices. These are initiation devices. In fact, in a lot of these that say the amount, they found at Berkeley, they did some testing, and some of these had like over 30 milligrams of nicotine in them. So it was really false advertising as well.
After hearing from a few more residents, the board voted 2-1 in favor of regulating the distribution and purchasing of tobacco and tobacco products to anyone by raising the age to 21. Let's take a quick look at the vote.
Motion to adopt without revision, which will supersede all other regulations relating to the distribution of tobacco and tobacco products.
And I'm going to second that motion to adopt the regulation. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. No. Okay. So it's not unanimous, but it's 2 out of 3 from the board. And then what else do I have to say? That's it. So we're adopting the regulation.
Yeah, it passed.
Okay. It's passed.
On March 2nd, the Finance Committee met with Chief of Police Gary Sullivan, where he discussed his fiscal year 17 budget needs. He is asking for $21,000 for training a supervisory staff. Those are inclusive of vendor and training fees, dues and membership fees, and department head expenses and acquisition of new equipment. They have an opportunity to trade in firearms to the cost of $3,000 and trade in 1 firearm per officer. The benefit of doing this is to offset costs of repairs on aging firearms. His presentation was also followed by Easton Fire Chief Kevin Partridge, where he also presented his fiscal year 17 budget needs and is requesting staffing a deputy chief at the fire department. If you'd like to watch the Finance Committee, you can do so on eastoncat.org, and you can see it in its entirety. All right, so Valerie, you were at last night's school committee meeting, and the agenda included the ongoing topic of conversation regarding the proposed start times.
Yeah.
Why don't you give us a little rundown of how that went?
Well, first I have to say that this was an exciting meeting. And it was really one of the most exciting school committee meetings I have ever attended. There were some last-minute changes to the proposals that have been going around about what time school should start next year. And the reason for the changes was that the administration met with the bus company.
Okay.
And the bus company said, they had previously said that they would kind of try to make work whatever the school district felt that was best for the kids. But when really pushed and when the conversation got down to nitty gritty, the bus company felt that they needed 35 minutes between bus runs. And that really altered the proposed start time significantly.
Okay.
I do think it was a little frustrating, both for the school committee as well as for the citizens of our town, that the start times are still kind of fluid. And so there was no vote last night.
Okay.
What I think I'd like people to understand about the meeting was that 3 school committee members stated that they did not feel comfortable having school start times that change the current structure of when kids get home.
Okay, so they want it to be a flow of like the older kids go to school first,
Yes.
followed by the younger kids, so that they could maintain after school care, would you say?
Right. So
Okay.
a lot of members of the community have said to the school committee that they rely on older children to take care of their younger kids in the afternoon. So some people have babysitters who are high school students.
Right.
And that is one rare and excellent source of affordable childcare after school.
yeah.
And some people have older children who get younger kids off the bus. And there were 3 school committee members in particular who said that they have heard those pleas from the community and that they don't want to adopt a plan where childcare problems are created by the flow of kids getting home after school. And those
makes sense.
Those school committee members were Fred Islieb, Sean Mullen, and Jackie Wiseman.
Okay, good to know.
So basically, they decided to delay the decision until April
Okay, and that's to get more information from the bus
from
company.
the bus company and to try to push back
Yep.
on how we can make it work
Okay.
so that the older kids get
Kids.
home first. Now,
Yep.
So there will be another discussion in a month when they have more information,
Yes.
as well as hopefully a vote. And I also want to make it clear that absolutely everybody on the school committee feels very committed to getting older children more sleep.
Right, because what? The American Academy of Pediatrics recommends getting at least, 11 hours of sleep at night, and the circadian rhythm is off, and so they're saying that these students that are hitting puberty, they're going to bed later just because of their natural rhythms.
Correct.
And sleep cycle.
And Dr. Hahn, who's a member of school committee, gave a really excellent presentation on the reasons, the scientific reasons why we need to start school later, and including statistics from another school district about the very good academic results that came from them delaying their start time.
Okay.
So I felt very good about the work that everyone has done,
Okay.
and I have high hopes that we're going to be able to have a healthy start time for all of our students, but it's going to take a little longer to get to that point.
Okay, so it sounds like the community is interested in this and helping with the decision-making process and making sure that everybody starts at least 8 o'clock or later, and it's a natural progression from the older kids down to the younger kids.
That's the direction I think this is going in.
Yeah.
If you have the time, please come to the April school committee meeting.
Yes.
And see the grand theater and
Yes.
and most excellent conversations that will take place. It really is kind of a fun and exciting way to see how your town government works.
Yeah, for sure. I know they have a workshop coming up on the 18th of March. It's going to be here at 50 Oliver Street. That is open to the public. I don't think a lot of people understand that, but it is a workshop. It's a little bit more of an intimate place for them to get together. It's a school committee, the superintendent, and they talk about all these issues, but the public is invited to sit and attend. Those are typically in the morning, but then the regular scheduled school committee meeting is April 7th, and that is at the high school at the Simmons Lecture Hall. And those are usually around 7 o'clock start time.
They are still considering a 2-tiered bus system.
Right.
The issue with that is that it costs money.
Yeah.
Quite a bit of money.
Yeah.
And so, but it's not off the table yet. I do
Okay.
feel that almost nothing is completely off the table, but at least we do have that commitment from 3 school committee members that they will preserve the child care situation. That's very important.
Well, that's good to know. Thank you.
Thanks for having me on
You're welcome. Maybe you can come on next time and wrap this thing up for us.
in the form of a rep.
All right. All right, so reminder to parents who have children age 5 years and older as of August 31st, 2016, that kindergarten orientation is coming up at the respective elementary schools. This date is March 15th at 7 p.m. It's an informational meeting for parents, and you can always find out more information on the school's website, which is easton.k12.ma.us. And then the Oliver Ames girls basketball team won their Division II South first round matchup against North Attleboro last night. Their next game to be played is Saturday night, which will be at 5:30 against Notre Dame, and will be played here at Oliver Ames High School. So the Easton Food Pantry would like the public to know that the deadline to sign up for Easter distribution is March 14th, and then the distribution will be held on 2 dates, March 21st and 22nd. And then if you're looking for something fun to do tonight, there are a few remaining events happening in town. The Parkview Elementary School is hosting their annual adult social fundraiser at the Easton Country Club at 7 p.m. Tickets will be sold at the door for $30. And then we have the Southeast School of Music hosting their Say Goodbye to Winter concert at the Oaks Ames Hall, and that's 7:30 p.m. And then this weekend, the Oliver Ames drama students are presenting The Wizard of Oz. Tickets are still available online. You can head over to oatickets.us to choose your seats for this weekend. There's 4 shows coming up. It's a family event. You can bring the kids. I'll be there tomorrow at 2 o'clock. It's going to be fun. And then save the date for Smith Farm at Borderland informational meeting. That is going to be March 10th from 6 to 7:30 p.m. at the Queeset House. And they're going to be discussing therapeutic offerings and free programs to veterans in our community. And then we have another theater presentation going on. That's going to be the weekend of March 11th through the 13th. It's The Beauty and the Beast, and it's going to be presented at the Qualters Middle School in Mansfield. To get tickets to that event, you can go to uncommontheater.org. And the Ames Free Library is hosting an Irish pub event March 11th from 7 to 10 o'clock, complete with food from Blackthorn Tavern, whiskey tastings, and Irish music. You can go to the Ames Free Library website to purchase tickets for this event. And then speaking of the Ames Free Library, they were named a finalist once again as Best Small Library in America for 2016. And in case people don't realize this, they offer free access to online sites like lynda.com, where you can learn business software technology and creative skills to achieve personal and professional goals, along with other sites like mango.com, where you have access to language learning resources. Also, some free online expert advice and e-reader books. You can check all of that out at the Ames Free Library website for everything that they have to offer. All right, and then lastly, we have the Easton Lions Club annual auction, which is taking place next Sunday, March 13th from 2 to 9 p.m. You can bid on this 1998 BMW convertible. It's been donated by Mark Tunievich and Kate Mensch. The Lions are accepting pre-bid offers that are listed here. You can call 508-230-7071, and it is televised by ECAT on channels 9 or 22 and will be streaming live. And some here important dates that are coming up. We have the April 11th is the annual night out and style swap hosted by Easton Women of Today. A little shout out to our friend Nicole Dion, who helps run this event. And that's going to be a good one. And then we have the April 30th is the PMC bike ride at Parkview Elementary. And May 21st, the 5K at the NRT. And I think that should do it for this episode of the Shoveltown Scoop. Thank you, Valerie, again for coming in and giving a little light on the school committee conversation.
Thanks for inviting me.
All right. We'll see you guys next week.